Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am your host Joshua Mason, and today I'm going to be answering a common question I get. Hey Detox dude, why are you not vegan? Are you vegan? Why are you not vegan? Why do you eat animals? And here we go. I eat meat because meat grounds me. Meat gives me this feeling of being satiated, of feeling like I can really connect to my body, and it slows my thoughts down, and it allows me to, it makes me more horny. It makes me feel more healthy and like I'm ready to replicate on this planet. It brings me in touch with my animal nature. So I believe that everything should be done in phases. Veganism for a phase, fuck yeah, go for it. See for yourself, know for yourself. Vegetarianism for a phase. Some people truly are, veganism is the best diet for them. I'm not saying that. Please don't take that from me. Veganism could be definitely the best diet for a huge portion of you. So, throughout my healing journey, I spent over a year as a vegetarian, and then I spent 8 months as a vegan. Maybe 4 to 6 of those months were actually a raw vegan. Basically eating nuts, seeds, and fruit and vegetables. And maybe I wasn't doing the whole raw vegan thing entirely correctly, but I was living in Peru and it was the best I could do. So, there are a lot of people that associate detox with veganism. It's like one and the same. As soon as I talk about detox, they say, oh, you do your juices and you're a vegan? I don't understand why those two things are one and the same. I don't believe that that's actually the case. So, why am I not a vegan? Veganism is a new age experiment. It has not been around for that long. We do not have many generations of vegan kids. We don't have vegan kids who have vegan kids. We can't see what happens through the evolutionary process of being a vegan. We can't see if it's sustainable for our species. It's too new, okay? There are a lot of vegetarian societies that have survived and thrived for many years, but they always eat butter, ghee, milk products. So anyway, it's a new age experiment, okay? We can really not be too sure exactly how it's affecting us. People may have benefits and they may have 5-10 years of therapeutic benefit, but I've noticed that a lot of vegans, very rare for vegans to last that long. 10 years is generally this point where people's health starts collapsing. I believe it's because we need cholesterol, okay? Hey, sorry, my camera died. So we need cholesterol and we need B vitamins. A lot of these are missing from a vegan diet, and we have a reserve tank. And what happens is over the years, people lose their reserves, which is why health collapses oftentimes on a vegan diet. I don't believe it's sustainable. For me, after 3 or 4 months, I immediately felt a decline in my health, okay? So from a vitamin, mineral, nutrient standpoint, which I believe isn't even the optimal way of describing health, there are some missing nutrients, okay? And there are debates in that world. I understand there are some foods with cholesterol, there are some foods with B vitamins, but on average, vegans are going to be deficient in those two things. So aside from the nutrient profile, why don't we just look at the energetic side of things? Vegan diets are very yin, okay? Yin versus yang, okay? You know, fruits are very yin. Think about the way they make you feel. They're cold, they're spread out, they make people who are on all fruit diet, you can actually feel something about them that they're almost floating away. They don't feel really grounded and centered in their body. Of course, there are exceptions to this rule, but in my experience, what I've seen is Vegans, raw vegans, fruitarians are very yin. It's an out of balance experience, the way when I feel them. It's not something I want to cultivate in my being. It's not even like they're fully here on planet Earth. There's a part of them that's like disassociated. It's like if I would explain it in energy, it would, or you do it in energy, it would be like, hi, yeah, I only eat fruit. And it makes people it makes men very not masculine. I don't think I've ever seen a masculine fruitarian. So, and not bullshit masculine. I'm talking about true divine masculine, you know, when you're centered, grounded in your body, speaking from depth. So, the opposite of yin would be something like a dense meat, you know, a wild game. That is very grounding, yang, okay? It brings a whole new element. It brings you, it makes you more earthy, you know? After eating a big meal, you may find yourself connected to the earth, more grounded. Eating yang foods will actually bring you more connected, more grounded, okay? So, that's the energetic side of things, which I feel is out of balance when we do a vegan diet, okay? Furthermore, vegan diets contain tons of plant lectins. Nuts, beans, seeds, grains. Those are 4 things that I don't eat at all. And that's a huge portion of the vegan diet. What's the problem with lectins? Well, they create all kinds of inflammation and immune system responses, and they're difficult to get rid of. We have to pressure cook, we have to soak, sprout. Okay? So, what else? What else is there? Well, I believe veganism is a response to factory farming. No doubt factory farming is a shit show, disaster, nightmare. But I believe veganism, particularly a documentary like What the Health, or there's a couple of other vegan documentaries, they're comparing factory farming to veganism. Of course veganism is going to be healthier than factory farming. But why does it have to swing to those two ends of the pendulum? What about in the middle? Masters live in the middle. This society that we live in is just this grandfather clock that goes back and forth. If something is wrong, then we must swing to the opposite end of the pendulum to make it right. What about for thousands of years, our species has killed wild game, wild meat, and thrived on it, okay? And craved it, desperately craved it, okay? So the truth is that if we compared real happy animals or wild animals to a vegan diet, the facts would be very different. The science would show very different than comparing heart disease and cholesterol and obesity when we're talking about factory farms, animals who are tortured and caged. Of course, all of the science, all of the numbers, every issue that could be wrong with an animal is going to be wrong if they're living in a cage. What if you were a human being and you had to eat another human? Are you going to choose a morbidly obese dude with parasites who sits in his chair all day and plays Warcraft? I played Warcraft for many years, by the way. I was fucking good. Or are you going to choose someone who is running around, running marathons, you know, healthy, active, happy? Of course you know the answer to that. Now that's a weird question where we're going to fucking eat, you know, another person. But I did just watch a documentary about the people in the Andes plane crash, and they had to eat their human beings in order to survive. Anyway, I'm just using this analogy to if you had to go there, you'd obviously choose, there's a huge difference there as far as what you'd be consuming, you know? You want to pick something that's alive and exuberant and has life force, right? Okay, so let's move to some more conversations and issues here. A lot of people's reasons for choosing a vegan diet is for the animals, okay? And I believe that people have this pretty backwards. See, human beings are here to live in communion with nature. To live here connected to Mother Earth, pay respect to Mother Earth and her creatures. But that doesn't mean not killing. See, many animals kill in nature. If you saw a lion killing a gazelle on YouTube, would you ever consider that as wrong or evil? How could you label that wrong? That would be the most ignorant thing you could possibly do. What you're saying is your thoughts and your decisions on how life works is more important and more supersedes natural earthly law that you're seeing right in front of you, okay? There's nothing evil about it. It just is. Everything is dying and living. Something is always having to die in order for something else to live. Nature is always giving and receiving. In this forest I'm in right now, everything is giving and receiving. The air, the sun, the plants, the nutrients, giving back to us the oxygen. Boom, 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 boom. This is the way of life. Okay? So, to declare the killing of an animal wrong, I don't understand that. I don't subscribe to that. The way it's done is what dictates the spectrum of right and wrong. Okay? Sustainable, integrity or no integrity. If you kill an animal and you pay respect to that animal, you kill that and you're not torturing the animal, and the animal lived an amazing life before that moment, then all you're doing is you are utilizing your ability as a human being to execute. I don't mean execute in that way, shooting like killing way. I mean to use this ability to eat, okay? With respect, with praise, with ceremony, with gratitude. And that, my friends, is still connected to natural earthly law. There are no gods that are going to be upset with you if you so choose to connect to the land and to an animal in that way, okay? Another thing is, we think that automatically death and killing is painful, okay? I've heard stories of people being mauled by bears, and they come out of the experience and they get asked, "Oh my God, how was it?" And they said it was like going home. It was so peaceful before I thought I was about to go. So what if there's a natural mechanism that the universe, God, has put in place where an animal dies or is about to die or is on its way out, that he's experiencing nothing but bliss? I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying, what if that's a possibility? Why are we so twisted up around death and thinking that this animal's tortured and suffering just because it dies? We don't know what death is like. It's a mystery. Okay? So this to me dispels the animal reasons for saving the animals or anything like that. I also believe that we here on this planet have contracts in place with other humans, with other animals. I believe animals come here to sacrifice themselves for humans, to be food. Why is it weird that an animal exists on Earth in order to be food for a human? You're assuming that that animal has a consciousness that is at a level that it values its life. What if it doesn't even have that level of consciousness? Then there's no suffering involved if it passes, right? There's zero suffering. Our mind is what creates the suffering, right? And again, I'm not saying veganism is wrong either. Please hear me out. I'm just defending the outrageousness of some vegan claims, okay? So, it sounds crazy, but what if a chicken was literally, or a cow was in some form, a way, they signed a contract and said, I'm going to be a cow and I'm going to sacrifice myself and go into a human body to nourish that human body in hopes that that human body is going to be helping humanity, and helping the world and living a life of love and passion. Some shamanic traditions even say that when you eat an animal, the spirit of that animal actually gets to live as a human for a few hours or days and experience what it's like to have a human experience. So I'm not saying all of this as fact. I'm not saying it as the answer. I'm just merely opposing the outrageous claims I've heard of veganism. Okay? So, we got the nutrients, we got the energy of veganism, the animal issues. Okay, next, evolution. Most primates are actually, a lot of primates are eating meat, okay? Bonobos, chimps. According to evolutionary theory, from where we came from, who knows if that's exactly how it happened, these animals are eating meat, okay? Gorillas are mostly, they're mostly eating, I think they hunt once in a while, but they do eat flies and insects, but they're mostly eating fruit, vegetables, plants. Anyway, there's that argument, right? That where we came from eats meat as well. I'm not an expert in that department. I have to do more research. So, all of that is my opinion on veganism. I eat meat because meat grounds me. Meat gives me this feeling of being satiated, of feeling like I can really connect to my body, and it slows my thoughts down, and it makes me more horny. It makes me feel more healthy and like I'm ready to replicate on this planet. It brings me in touch with my animal nature. When I don't eat meat for a long time, I start separating into some different place. I start feeling more floaty and like I'm losing my groundedness. My health doesn't do so well if I'm vegan. So I believe that everything should be done in phases. Veganism for a phase, fuck yeah, go for it. See for yourself, know for yourself. Vegetarianism for a phase. Some people truly are, veganism is the best diet for them. I'm not saying that. Please don't take that from me. Veganism could be definitely the best diet for a huge portion of you. But to stay vegan for sake of principle, or to prove yourself right, or to save the animals, or to do the veganism thing based on constructs, social constructs, I don't see a point to that. It's all about achieving optimal health and wellness and vitality, okay? So I believe everything should be done in phases. Go vegan, check out eating meat, check out vegetarianism, experiencing it all. And you could, just because your veganism worked for you for 2 years, doesn't mean that it's the right thing for you for the rest of your life. It also doesn't mean that there was anything wrong with it now that you're not a vegan, right? Similarly, if you ate meat for a long time and now you feel better as a vegan, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with eating meat. Everything happens in phases. This whole process of evolution, consciousness, healing, everything happens in phases. I've had experiences where this one supplement is my fucking cure-all for 3 months, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't even want it anymore. Can't even look at it anymore. How is that possible? Because phases. Phases of veganism, phases of eating meat, phases of different exercise, phases of different supplements. We don't have to get stuck in a paradigm and think that it's the answer and think that we have to do it for the rest of our journey. Phases, ladies and gentlemen. So, that's my story on veganism. I respect veganism. All I care about is that you're happy and healthy. I don't care if I'm right. I don't care about you being wrong. It's not my intentions here. So yeah, leave a comment below with what you think. I know there's a lot of vegan followers who are always talking about how crazy it is that I eat meat and I'm a phony because I'm not a vegan. Leave me a comment. Please reply intelligently about all of these things. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't care about being right or wrong. I want us to all ascend and evolve. That's my intentions here. To have health and wellness. Okay? Subscribe, like, leave a comment below. See you on the other side, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.